Am I the asshole for saying I will call social services if my sister-in-law keeps leaving her child at my place? I, 30 female, have a half-brother, Enzo, who's 40. We're not very close since we were both raised with our respective mothers, but he has always gone out of his way to help me with anything I've ever needed. Enzo married his wife, Step, 33, 2 years ago. Step has a daughter, Alice, 4, with her ex, but has sole custody, and Enzo and Step have a 7-month-old son, Teddy. I also have a 3-year-old daughter. Enzo and Step moved into the city I live in when Step got pregnant. And since then, Step developed a habit of just showing up at my apartment building unannounced. It became a problem, and I talked to both her and Enzo about it, and she stopped until she gave birth. Now, she regularly drops by unannounced to leave Alice at my building for babysitting while she has to run errands or something. She's had her carpool drop Alice off at my apartment before. My poor housekeeper is a wonderful woman who has had to deal with Alice arriving unexpectedly while I'm out, and I feel terrible about it. I told the concierge not to let her up and to say no one is in, but then I arrived to Alice waiting in the lobby, which is not safe, and the concierge has told me I can't make them responsible for a child. Step keeps saying she only does it when she's desperate, but I don't see how she can be that desperate to run errands at least twice a week. And frankly, I'm not a nanny. If she's desperate, she needs to hire some help. I've spoken to Enzo, and he always is extremely apologetic and says he will talk to her, and I believe he does, but he also works during the day and can't police where she is all hours. I reached my breaking point a couple of days ago when I returned from lunch and find Alice in my home, having been dropped off since she had a half a day of school. I apologized profusely to my housekeeper, who had spent time playing babysitter, and called Step with no answer. I called her several times, and Enzo, who was on a business trip and distraught over the situation. Step eventually turned up a couple of hours later, and I went ballistic. I said if she ever leaves Alice at my building again, I will call social services, and I will call them every single time she drops Alice off with me until they do something about it, because this is not my job. She is an irresponsible and neglectful parent. She burst into tears and begged me to help out with Alice, but I said no and reminded her that I never said yes in the first place. She just keeps dumping her kids here.